Hi, I'm Mayor Margaret Quirk, and I'm here today, joined with Deputy CAO Treasurer Rob Weeder.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, it is good, and we're here to give you a bit of an update on the proposed 2025 budget. And before we get into some of the high-level issues and topics of the budget, this is the budget book. This is our budget book, and staff have been working on the budget since about April of this year, so it's not done overnight. But this book is a great resource for anybody just wanting to know what each department does, what their highlights were for 2024, and what their major projects are for 2025. So Rob, tell us, what can residents expect to see in this particular budget?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big focuses on the 2025 proposed budget really related to addressing how do we handle growth, the growth that the municipality is going to see over the next several years, because we know that there's a certain number of houses that we need to build. So we want to make sure that we're planning responsibly, fiscally responsibly for that growth, which means not just preparing for the growth-related infrastructure, but also ensuring our existing infrastructure is in place.
Exactly, making sure that the current roads are in good shape, but we know we're getting new roads, new housing, and the housing starts that we're looking at doing.
Exactly. So when we look at this budget overall, we're looking at a $106 million operating budget with a $36 million capital plan just for the 1 year.
Wow.
And our 10-year capital plan is really $280 million over the 10 years. So when you look at what does that look like for an average resident in Georgina, and we're looking at a 2.99% operating increase with our 2% infrastructure levy to try to close that funding gap.
So that we have money in place in those reserves for the road projects, facility repairs, replacements, all of that.
Absolutely. So when we look at what does that look like for an average resident, if you look at a single family detached house, that would be about $11 per month increase in 2025 when you look at what the impact of that is.
And we've done a number of public engagements. Maybe tell us a bit about where we were, what we did, and what we heard.
Certainly. So we started public engagement early because we really want to hear from residents as well as councillors. So we did provide a number of opportunities. So one of them, we did put out a budget survey, and I'm happy to say that we received over 600 responses, which is double any other year that we've put it out. We also were available at multiple facilities throughout the month of September, throughout Keswick, Sutton, and Pefferlaw, and we also held a dedicated public information session at the council chambers where 20 to 30 people attended. So we were able to get all of that feedback and really evaluate what the priorities are for the 2025 budget.
What did we hear? Because I hear people want work done on their roads. They want to see things accomplished within their own local community, whether it's a playground, whether it's a park improvements. Service levels, that's always a big topic. What did we hear from the public?
Yeah, service levels is always a great topic. And so in our survey that we put out, we wanted to gain an understanding on, based off of different priorities in town, whether it be roads, parks, economic development, would people like to maintain service levels, see increased service levels, or reduce service levels? And the majority of people throughout town want to maintain service levels, more than 50%. But then when you go down into the next level, the next highest is people want to see increased service levels in certain areas. And there were only a few individuals that wanted to see decreased service levels. So the three priorities people want to see increases is economic development, parks and playgrounds, and also our roads program and winter maintenance.
Exactly. And throughout the book, it does go through the capital projects and what's on tap for 2025. And as I tell people, it's the big projects and it's the little projects. It's small projects of, ditching and culverts. It's route sealing, but then it's the big projects. So I think we're planning Old Shiloh Bridge, for example. We've got the Queensway North urbanization, the Terry Fox Park. Now those two are development charges, correct? Funding for those two.
That's correct, and a lot of, because it really is a growth-related budget, so a lot of the projects in here this year are driven by growth and paid by growth, whether it's development charges or assessment growth. So we also were looking at starting the South Keswick Fire Station and EMS, and as well as a training facility for the firefighters. And both of those items are funded 100% by development charges.
And we do put in money each year into our reserves, and we use those reserves to fund the capital projects. So, for example, we're doing the seat replacements at the Ice Palace. We're doing a new playground at High Castle. I've made notes here. We've got the Sutton Arena parking lot we're doing. the art
Art
gallery
gallery
parking
parking
lot.
lot.
We're replacing a lot of furnaces in buildings too. So it's the big things and it's the small things that we're doing. And you mentioned assessment growth, and we do try to budget things out with growth, paying for growth. Maybe tell us, just use the example of the either the Merck or the Keswick Fire Hall, how we're putting money away for the operating when that facility opens.
Absolutely. So first with assessment growth, what it really is if a new subdivision comes online or any new house, it generates more taxes. So those taxes that are generated should go towards growth-related items. Different growth-related items occur during the year. Some are immediate, such as a road attendant. We know we have those extra roads, so we need a new road attendant that year, so we use assessment growth. But really when you get into the large projects, with a new facility opening, a facility might only open once every 20 years, such as the multi-use rec
Multi-use
center or the
fire
South
hall.
Keswick Fire Hall. So we really have to start setting aside the assessment growth year over year into our reserves. And then when the facility opens, there was no tax levy impact.
Because then that goes right into the base budget, and when it opens, it's part of that base budget going forward.
Going forward.
So we're almost out of time here, and this has gone really quick, but I would tell people, where could they go to get more information? Onto our website?
Absolutely. So we have our website, georgina.ca/budget. We also have the book available at the libraries. And we are going to be doing our budget deliberations on December 3rd and 4th.
And that's a live stream that people want to watch that. They'll be able to. So I encourage people to get informed, get a copy of the budget book, watch the budget presentation, go to our website. You'll learn all the information there. This has been a great discussion, just an information session on an update of the budget. Thanks for listening.